Hey guys, this is Cam for 15. I'm back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm here to discuss Stargirl Season 2, Episode 5, which, man, this episode was pretty damn good. So, let's get into it. So Courtney returns back to her house, but Pat was waiting in her room because she's wondering where was she. And she goes on to say she was trying to look for Shade so she can talk to the Shade and everything. More about the Eclipso now. Obviously, Pat's like, listen, we can't trust him. He's still a bad guy, even though he seems like he's willing to freaking take care of the situation himself. We don't know what he could be ultimately doing and everything. So that's the whole thing there. Two, we also, at the start of the episode, also get a start of a flashback where, you know, we cut back to 10 years ago. We see a younger Cindy. I'm talking to her biological mom, and essentially Cindy saying she's scared of obviously Dragon King finding her gonna change her into obviously Shiv, but her mom's like, listen, you don't need to worry about it, he won't find us. But well, Dragon King ends up finding Cindy and excuse me, and obviously takes her away. I think he even kills the mom. I don't know, but yeah, that's the whole thing there. So anyways, going on with this episode, essentially this episode kind of takes up more the whole Eclipso storyline and stuff like that, where it's definitely headed and everything. We see Cameron continuing the mural painting he's been painting on that one wall and everything. We do have an interaction between him and Rick. Was kind of just like, okay, Rick's playing his loud ass music in the background and he's just looking at it because obviously he doesn't like, Jordan McKent because, well, he was Icicle and he was evil and stuff like that. And they kind of like give a side eye and he's like, what do you want? He's like, nothing, just looking, and then he just drives off. And I'm like, what the hell, man? So yeah, also too, so that's the whole thing there. Shade actually does come to warn Barbara about, what Courtney's been trying to do. And essentially Shade is telling Barbara, listen, if you have any details about the Black Diamond, you please call me because I want to make sure I keep you and your family, your lovely family, safe. Again, I don't know what the Shade's ulterior motives are going to be. I don't know if he's going to use the Black Diamond for his own reasoning, but it seems like he's willing to do all this out of the kindness of his heart. And I say, honestly, take it. So Barbara does kind of say, okay, I'll hook you up if freaking anything goes awry and stuff like that. And obviously the card she got now has his phone number on it. So that's the whole thing. So obviously Pat is talking to Beth, and Beth's telling Pat about the whole Dr. McKnight still being alive thing, because we saw near the end of the episode last week that he's in the shadow realm essentially. Now Pat doesn't believe it and everything, and as Rick's walking in, he essentially doesn't agree with Pat, but then starts to get on Beth's side and say, well, what if he is alive? Just say what if. Funny enough, I just reviewed that show not too long ago. Or an episode review, the zombies episode. And essentially, Pat's like, well, if that's the case, then we're gonna have to do whatever we can to look for him. But for the time being, until Beth, you get another alert from Dr. McKnight, then, let's worry about the weather, which I forgot to mention. Essentially, Pat also goes on to make the mention of the fact that the weather is different because it's the effect of the Black Diamond that's doing it, the effect of Eclipso. We find out in Nebraska, everywhere else is sunny, but in the town they're in, it's just overcast skies, which kind of weird, to say the least. Anyways, this shifts over to the school whole thing now. Cameron, because the weather, he can't paint outside, so he ends up going to the schools to see if he can work on some of his painting. He actually runs into the teacher. I forgot the teacher's name. Damn it, man. But the teacher sees his drawings of Courtney because he drops his notebook, and the teacher obviously is Cameron's drawings of Courtney, and he's like, oh, is Courtney your muse? Which I'm guessing he's saying, like, is that the most important person, Cameron has, or the person Cameron has feelings for, or, I guess you can say the reason why he's doing his art. And that's what kind of the teacher was saying, is like, well, when you get that muse, it makes it a lot better. When I met mine, it was nice and everything. So I was like, okay, so it seems like they're progress the Courtney Cameron relationship. Now they run into each other in the school, but it's kind of awkward. They later go on. Now Cindy, in her whole recruiting aspect for her new ISA team, because she's already got Isaac Bowen and Artemis, essentially she tries to have Cameron, join her team. The one reason why Cameron turns her down or turns her away essentially is from the standpoint when Cindy brings the fact, well, I'm sorry about what happened to your father. And Cameron's like, I remember after your mother died in 4th grade, you didn't give no fucks about her and stuff like that. So why should I care what you tell me? I know you don't mean it. And it looks like, let's just say Cindy was willing to kill Cameron right then and there. But obviously the teacher that was talking to Cameron earlier shows up and everything. Eventually Cameron just walks away because he's like, you know what, I'm just going to go for a bit. And that's when we see Cindy actually, physically touch the teacher, and that teacher, starts having the effects of Eclipso all over him. And we see, throughout, we see what happens is, as he's teaching, he's like coughing, like just randomly. And I'm like, oh, well, seems like somebody forgot to wear their mask. I know I probably should not be making a joke of that, of the virus. I'm sorry. But I'm just saying, wear your mask. But essentially he literally has to call class off early because he's just coughing. And when he goes back into his main room, he starts freaking coughing more, and then he coughs up legit paint. It's not blood, it's paint, not vomit either. And the crazy thing, you would think it's vomit because it looked yellow at first, but it was just yellow paint. I was like, what the hell is going on here? So he coughs up yellow paint. Then he's coughing up purple paint. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this dude? So yeah, that's whole crazy within its endeavor. Anyways, one of the next things that happens in this episode is the standpoint was Barbara and Pat get a call from obviously the one guy who's been seeing the robot Stripe, and he told him, oh, I found I found Mike. And essentially Barbara's kind of like, maybe we need to heed Thunderbolt's warning, the fact that Mike's all alone and stuff like that. So that's the whole thing. And they kind of have, and Pat kind of tells Mike, like, listen, what you're trying to get into is very dangerous and everything. And he's kind of saying it a little bit harshly and everything, further kind of pushing Mike away. And I don't think that's going to help in the long run. But eventually what happens is Pat's like, well, you can help me on some JSA project. And obviously that makes Mike happy. And he's like, oh, I can't wait to get to work and everything. So it seems for the time being, Mike and Pat are cool, but I definitely could see it to where maybe Mike actually joins the dark side, because he could say, like, you neglected me and you chose Courtney over me and stuff like that. Courtney is your stepdaughter. I'm your actual son. I'm related to you by blood. So they could be taking that angle. I definitely would. I don't want that to happen for Mike's case, because he seems like he's a good kid, but in terms of a story case, it makes sense why they would turn Mike evil. But again, I don't see how Mike would turn evil and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyways, what happens is Courtney actually goes to talk to Cameron a bit. Cameron shows her the drawings he made of her and everything, and she likes it and everything. And there looks like they're about to get a moment and everything, and it looks like, well, Cameron is going to be assertive and he's going to kiss Courtney. We're going to get Cameron x Courtney finally happening, which I don't think is going to happen in the series at all, because technically it's the wielder of Stargirl with the son of Icicle and stuff like that. And, right as they look like they're about to kiss, Courtney gets messages to her phones from Yolanda and the others saying that the weather is completely changed, and they found something that came up regarding Eclipso and everything. So she has to leave, and Cameron makes the astute mention to Courtney before she leaves. She's like, he's like, you're always leaving and stuff like that. Every time we're around each other, you're always just up and dipping. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I really am. I promise I won't do this again. Which I think is going to be a complete lie. Well, unless she does get a message and she prioritizes Cameron over stuff like that. Again, I just don't know why she just doesn't say the excuse, Pat's calling me and he wants me to get home right now and everything and stuff like that because we got a family emergency or something. Don't know why she just didn't say that. She just upped and left. See, this is the thing I hate about superhero shows. The aspect when you got the hero that has to leave. I hate how they don't give him a good reason to leave. Like you could I guarantee you in a real life sense, you can guaranteedly say, this is from Pat, my dad. I have to go. He said we got a family emergency and stuff like that. So yeah, I just don't know. Cause I think in a real life sense, I think people would probably believe that and be like, yeah, even though if it's like in that real life sense, yes, would a guy be bummed out? Oh, I almost about to kiss this girl and she just dipped on me. And also too, from Cameron's standpoint, he even said before she left, like, let me guess, you're leaving because you think I'm weird that I drew you in my notebook. And she's like, no, and stuff like that. Now, again, now, maybe in a real life sense, that would probably be a little bit awkward and a little bit weird, especially if it's for a girl. If a girl saw a guy do that, and they didn't know, they'd be like, yeah, dude, no. But we definitely see that Courtney likes Cameron like that. So we'll just see where it goes and stuff like that. Now, we see Cameron's grandma looking at this, and even earlier in the episode, she tells Cindy to F off and stay away from Cameron and stuff like that. So yeah, and we also see that the grandma has ice powers as well, which okay, and didn't see that coming. Anyways, when the new JSA members meet up, they make a mention of the fact that, well, this is where it is. Now Pat told them to wait now, but they see obviously their teacher still at the school, even though it's super late. So they go into the building. When they go into the one room where he was throwing up, there's all like this paint stuff. We get some trippy ass shit. We like have paintings coming out of the wall and everything. And we have Yolanda, Beth, and even Rick starting to get affected. And this is all through the powers of Eclipso. Eventually what happens is Courtney has to fight all, the paint monster all by herself. And, she eventually saves the teacher. And stuff like that. Now, obviously, after meeting up with Pat essentially says, well, crap, things just got worse because guess what? Eclipso's getting stronger. Now, from the standpoint, you just have to be in the vicinity of the person he affected, and guess what? His effects can still come on the people and affect them. And Beth, Yolanda, and Rick, they all make the mention like, Pat, you were right. This guy is no joke. And it was honestly frightening and scary. So we're finding out that Eclipso is getting stronger in strength, very much stronger and safe. So now he can affect people literally without indirectly being there, and stuff like that. So yeah, trying to remember other than the ISA, scene, missing something. Oh, Bev does have her talk with the parents about their divorce, and her parents are kind of awkwardly like, oh shit, she found out. And the parents still make it awkward. And the parents give the typical excuse, oh yeah, when we get back from work, we'll tell you more about it and stuff like that. And they give Beth an awkwardly hug. Trust and believe. Listen, I have divorced parents too. But listen, if it was me in that shoes, I'd tell them, no, we're staying here and you're going to tell me everything. What the hell happened? And stuff like that. Now, they say it was a mutual thing. They don't really go into details yet. I wonder if we'll find out the details. Maybe one of the freaking, parents cheated on one another. I don't know, because usually that's 9 out of 10 times the reason why I divorce, or it's just our fighting over time, and stuff like that. But if I was Beth, I would probably have been more pissed off because the parents are making it so damn awkward that they can't tell their daughter. Like, it's like they don't want to tell her, but they want to tell her at the same time. I don't know. Their parents are kind of, their Beth's parents are kind of fucked up, if you ask me. And the episode essentially ends off with Cindy talking to Isaac and Artemis, and they're like, well, we can't wait on Cameron and stuff like that. Or they're like, why is Cameron not here? Because aren't we missing him? But Cindy's like, man, screw Cameron, because Cameron rejected her. And before they enact their plan, Cindy's going to try to get Mike to join their ranks and stuff like that. So, yeah, next week it seems like it's going to be Cindy versus Stargirl again. Shiv versus Stargirl, because we know that Cindy has a burning passion of hate for freaking Courtney. So, yeah, but other than that, I'm going to get out of here. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the Stargirl episode review. Hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Stargirl content or any other CW, DC TV show content, as well as hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Stargirl episode reviews. Other than that, guys, I'm gonna get over. Till then, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.